guys. Rainbow Fair blogging from paradise. What's going on? What's going on? I wanted to dissect three traits of successful bloggers. And in so dissecting these traits, that's a little better light over here. You can get a better idea, gain a better understanding of what it takes to succeed as a blogger. A lot of us, when we're new to this game, we have no clue what's happening. We have absolutely no idea. It sounds interesting, right? It sounds like it might be fun, fascinating. Oh yeah, too dark. But virtually all of us, if we're being honest with ourselves, have no idea what we're getting into. So when you have these traits of successful bloggers in your mind and you think about them, you dwell on them, you ruminate for a bit, you could understand quite quickly, at least get a gleaning, if this gig is for you or not, because it's the real deal. It is building a business. It is opening a corner store. Imagine right now you're like, well, I think I want to open a corner store. I think I'll give it a shot. No, nobody says that. If you want to open a bodega or a corner store, a warung, think about different terminologies, a soda in Costa Rica. Anywhere in the world, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to open a corner store, convenience store. So that means 10 to 12 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week. You have other people helping you out maybe, but for you, it's just this commitment. And for blogging, it's not so much the work commitment, like slaving and straining and striving. It is the energetic commitment to being truly helpful. So when you're truly helpful through blogging, it's not going to be for 5 minutes a day. Because you and I have seen business owners, we get it by now, or we should, but a lot of bloggers don't. So when you start thinking about these traits, the one I'm going to lead off with, which is so important, guys. This is the trait of traits. It's just right up there, right at the top. You have to be passionate about blogging, meaning most of your intent, your attention and energy needs to be in a space of blogging mainly, predominantly for fun, to enjoy it. This is the first trait, the first quality of successful bloggers. Why? What's the reasoning? If you love what you do, the work is the reward. So you will keep working for hundreds, then thousands, then 10,000 plus hours. The time will just increase. You'll just keep doing it because there'll be no reason to quit. And that's exactly the mindset it takes to blog for a long enough period of time, to write enough, practice your writing, to create enough, to connect enough over the course of years, thousands of hours, that positions you to become a professional, to go pro, to be a successful blogger. It will take years of your life. So if you're doing it mainly for fun, you'll never quit unless you stop having fun and you're like, I kind of lost my passion, and then that's fine. You just move away from it. It'll be no big deal. Successful bloggers really love what they do. So they would do it even if they didn't make a penny. And I remember watching John Chow a number of years ago at Affiliate Summit East. You guys probably know him, johnchowonline.com. Look him up. A prospering blogger, one of the tops in the world. And at that point, he'd been blogging for like 15 years and just one of the top bloggers in the world. So that's all that needs to be said. And he genuinely, honestly, authentically told us during his speech as he was on the dais that even if he hadn't made a penny through his blog over the prior 15 years, he would still be blogging because he started it with no ulterior motives, no idea of making money, no idea of being popular or famous. When he didn't care, he just did it to share, I think it was travel content with his family. So it wasn't even for the general public. He was doing it to keep track of, I don't know if it was travel. I'm pretty sure it was travel though. traveling content so his family could see it. That was his intent. Think of that. And he said he did that because he wanted to share it with them, but he really felt like it would be fun. And it was fun. So we just kept doing it in the beginning with no agenda. It was his fun and passion that guided him. That is one of the core reasons why he became so successful, because during those days, and then especially as he got into like monetizing, he would write and publish 1 to 2 posts a day, or have his guest bloggers eventually, but he'd be doing that for years. So why would you do so? Why would you write and publish a couple posts a day for years before you make a penny? Because you have fun doing it, because it's enjoyable. And that's specifically what it takes to succeed. You have to love this. It has to ooze through your being. Blogging has to be in your blood. Why is that? It takes a really, really long time, meaning years of your life. So right now it's November 28th, 2021. So from now to next year, you're going to be blogging every day, doing something for 2 to 4 to 6 hours a day, if you even dream of being successful. Not because it takes that time, it's the mindset and the service. It's mindset and service in that space. However, there is one fundamental of life, guys, where your attention and energy grows. So if you give your attention and energy to blogging predominantly, it will grow more quickly. If you give it a little bit of your attention and energy, it won't grow at all. This is where that worldly time element comes in. You got to be really helpful and have fun. And it's attention and energy. It's not just slaving for 8 hours a day. No. Passionate, fun, detached, where you enjoy helping people. You have to enjoy helping people, or you quit helping people. And when you quit helping people, you struggle, you fail, and you quit. I've seen it happen so many times over the past 14 years of my blogging career. So you have to do this mainly for fun, or else you're done. Now, on the flip side, we know this is a trait of a successful blogger. Look at every failing blogger, and almost across the board. I want to say across the board, but virtually across the board, they don't have fun. And they don't have fun because they're doing it not for fun or passion. They're doing it for money, or for popularity, or for some idea of love. I mean, the popularity really goes under that umbrella, right? You want people to love you. You want people to know you. You want to be popular. But really, it's money is the big driver. The reason why that never works, and why every blogger who does it for money fails and quits, almost every single one, save a few that become really manipulative, become skilled in that area, but they lose their reputation eventually. And let's just say all bloggers who do it for money eventually vanish. Even the few that become manipulative and so skilled in that way that they use people to get the things of money. They just look at people as things, and they lose their reputation 100% of the time, and they're just run out. They lie, they see. And these are just only like literally a few bloggers. But 99.9% fail miserably, horribly, and quit. It's because the money's not going to come until you practice for a long time. So you quit before the money comes, because you're like, oh, I'm not getting any money, so I'm going to quit. You only get money after you practice for a long time. And you only practice for a long time if you're passionate. And that's why most bloggers struggle, fail, and quit really fast. Or maybe they quit a year down the road, which for me is still really fast because it's a long journey. A year is nothing in the blogging world of thousands of hours of effort. So that's number one, guys. You got to really love this gig. You have to be passionate about it. That is what fuels you to make the work the reward. And when the work is the reward, time just flies by and you're having fun. And that's exactly how you lay the foundation. You gain the traffic and the income, the profits, by creating and connecting generously for a long time. You create and connect generously for a long time by being in love with helping people, having fun with it. That's just the gig, guys. This is how it goes. So that's number one. I'm about 10 minutes in, so that's about right. Let's start at number 2 now. Let's get to number 2. Traits of successful bloggers. Successful bloggers have completely realistic expectations of the amount of work and time it requires to become successful, or let's say to go pro. So right now on a Sunday afternoon, I've been doing this since 2007, probably 15,000 work hours. And here I am putting in another half hour on a Sunday evening. welcome to my world. This is what happens. I love it, but I've gone through ups and downs and some really difficult times. And some of those really difficult times were me doing stupid things instead of and quitting for a little bit, but really doing stupid things, not doing it for fun and passion, and doing those stupid things because I was deluded. I didn't embody the traits of a successful blogger, having realistic expectations. I wanted to get rich and not even get rich, but have this quick success within a month or 3 months or 6 months or within a year. Then I would just hit it big. So I slammed into problems because I was not realistic. I didn't realize that it'd be many hundreds to thousands of hours doing simple things for fun, generously, patiently, and persistently to lay a rock solid foundation for my blogging campaign. I eventually learned and things started to shift. But you got to, need to, have to have completely realistic expectations for your blogging campaign. So successful bloggers, when they start blogging from day one, when they're a newbie, in their mind, they say, this will take years of my life and many thousands of hours of work where you're in front of a computer for 2 to 4 to 6 to 8, 10 hours a day. But since they embody step one, trait one, let's say trait one, of really having fun with this gig, because they enjoy it and they know you got to have fun. All these successful people talking about you got to be passionate, then it's moot. Hey, Larry, they don't even mind. It's not even they don't even mind. They just have fun with it. So they're enjoying it. And if they're enjoying their blogging campaign, then the work is the reward. So what do they care? But at least they know in their mind, okay, this is going to take years. So I'm going to take my time, be patient. I know it's going to be thousands of hours. I know it's going to be years of my life. Blogging doesn't mean writing and publishing posts 2 hours a day. No, I'm talking about blogging, networking, engaging in outreach, all the stuff that I go over in my blog and my ebooks at bloggingparadise.com, courses, audiobooks, learning how to monetize your blog, learning how to format your posts, learning how to design your blog or have it designed for a pleasing user experience. So all of these aspects, it takes a long, long time. But since you love blogging and you're passionate about it, take your time and you're realistic. So you won't rush things. You'll do things the right way. You'll blog the right way for a long time, and then success will find you. But of course, we'll move on to number 3 in a second. We'll get to that. You have to catch yourself when your mind and the panic of fear tries to rush ahead and speed up the process. Successful bloggers see the journey through. They know there's no such thing as overnight success, so they keep doing simple things, creating and connecting. And of course, they monetize through multiple income streams, but they create and connect generously, genuinely, and patiently for a long time. And success slowly but steadily builds. So it's nice to see the little bump up in traffic and profits, income over time, but they don't panic. Flat out, everybody else panics. Bloggers who fail and quit, or bloggers that are struggling, they panic. They panic because they don't have realistic expectations in mind. So from day one of their blogging career, they're thinking, okay, I could really go pro in like 3 months or 6 months. No, you can't. Because you can't work that much in 6 months. The only way you could possibly go pro in 6 months, like really slay it, is if you have some type of a godlike lowercase g mental clarity, and that is so rare. Or if you have the income, the means, the resources to hire a whole team to handle all these jobs for you, then maybe 99.99% of bloggers, 99999, have those type of resources. New bloggers, they're not doing it from that type of energy, and they do not have that clarity. And evidence is everybody failing virtually outside of a few folks. I mean, the statistic years ago was in 2013, 81% of bloggers never make more than $100 during their entire career. So 8 out of 10, no matter if their career is a day, a week, a month, a year, or a decade, or 15 years. 8 out of 10 don't make more than $100. That should tell you something. Most bloggers dive into this game with completely unrealistic expectations, and 6 months, not realistic. A year, not really realistic still. I'm talking about like really where you're killing it, where you're like succeeding and thriving. 2 to 3 years, maybe more. It's not just years. Don't let that ego trap, that ego shell game seduce you. It's not years. It's the hundreds. It's the 2 to 4 to 6 to 8 hour days every day of generously creating and connecting calmly, patiently, and persistently over those 3 years. So 6 hours a day, or let's say 6 hours, 5 days a week, or if you're doing it part-time, imagine you work a full-time job. Well, get in your 2 hours a night. You have to. You can't get in a time machine. You have to put in the work. And then on the weekends when they come around, you turn off the football games, the basketball games, or you get in your 6 to 8 hours, because that's your money time. Those are the golden hours in blogging. If you work a full-time job and you have Saturday and Sunday off, then you're spending 6 to 8 hours on those Saturdays and Sundays networking. You have to work at it. It is opening a corner store. Right now, I'm going to open a convenience store. When you buy your domain and hosting, like right now, if you want the realistic expectation in your mind, realistic, truthful, I'm opening a corner store. I'm going to open a convenience store. So you just have to put in the time. Except this is a little different because you'll be creating and connecting. But as far as the work, 2 to 4 to 6, you just got to do it, because where your attention energy goes grows. And it takes a long time to practice enough to learn all the skills. There are many skills. It's not just writing, publishing a post. To create, to connect, to gain trust and credibility. I mean, I could create a video like this and talk about the 3 traits in 25 or 30 minutes extemporaneously. This is like improv for me, off the top of my head, because in the top of this head is 15,000 hours of blogging experience. So I know this inside out. I've taught it countless times, over 15,000 hours since 2007. Well, especially 2014 when I created Blogging from Paradise. So most people, the drill when you see them broadcasting live. Do they sound like me? Do they present themselves in natural, authentic, clear, confident, dare I say a little charismatic fashion? No. And I'm not cutting on people. I'm just stating the obvious. You guys know, you've seen it. Most people, because they have a lot of fear in their mind, they haven't practiced enough, they haven't put in the time, they haven't become really skilled, clear, confident, cogent. They're stiff anytime they broadcast live, and that's okay. It's okay. Everybody's doing the best. I commend you. I salute you. But it always shows who's practiced and who hasn't, who's mastered it. I mean, mastery, I'm always learning. But who's looking at prompts or working off. And by all means, do that, guys. This is not criticism, but it just goes to show you, if you see me broadcasting live and you compare me to most blogging tips bloggers, or really a lot of folks, if I'm nothing else, I'm genuine, I'm relaxed, and casual, and peaceful, and engaging. And when you guys watch live broadcasts, you get the drill by now. Most people are not like this because they haven't practiced as much as me. They haven't put in thousands of hours from writing and 6,000 video, whatever. I mean, I lost track. I had YouTube channels deleted back in the day with 2,000 videos. There's at least 2, at least 1. Who cares? It's gone. I took the practice with me, though. Abundant mindset, which takes us to trait number 3. Put in that time. Trait number 3. Successful bloggers, you're talking pros, they learn blogging from mentors who are thriving professional bloggers, preferably blogging tips bloggers, because it's their talent especial. Blogging tips bloggers who are pros, not professionals, know this gig inside out. So the wise thing to do, guys, is to learn from them. I'm just going to charge up. the lappy right now. So pleased that I could go live on laptop, and also on the phone, Instagram, folks. But I'm doing the YouTube, Instagram simulcast now. Professional bloggers, usually from day one, or maybe a little bit into their career after they got the wake-up call and they realized winging it is idiotic. Trying to learn on your own is foolish. Most, though, from early on in their career, maybe not from day one, they followed top bloggers who are pros, preferably blogging tips bloggers. They invested money in their courses so they could take their courses and take notes and put their courses into action. They bought their ebooks. Some hire blogging tips bloggers to coach them if said pros offer coaching or consulting services. So they invest money, attention, energy, and time to learn from professionals how to blog the right way in order to become a pro themselves. And this sounds simple, and logically, it is simple actually, and it sounds logical, rational. Like, we do this in all walks of life, guys. We don't try to wing stuff. We learn from pros. However, in the blogging world, I'm going to give one of these, but in the blogging world, most bloggers have so much fear in their mind, and they do so much from the ego, from fear and lack and scarcity, that their fear deludes them into believing that they could wing it and experiment and become a professional. It is an insane level of thinking that believes this, because it's deluded. It's madness. It's insanity. No, you can't. You're not going to wing it. You don't know the first 5 to 10 skills of becoming a professional blogger. If you're a new blogger, if you're struggling, or even if you've been doing this for 5 years, let's say 5-year blogger, but struggling, please recite to me. And it's just, you got to be honest with each other here. I would ask any struggling blogger to please recite to me the 5 fundamental skills of becoming a professional blogger, in addition to these 5 skills, when you breaking each one down into sub skills. You guys know that? No, of course not. Because if you did, you'd be a pro after 5 years. But you only learn that by investing in courses, by following blogs. We're talking professional blogging tips bloggers. Follow their blogs, take notes, buy their ebooks. I have over 50 ebooks, guys, on Amazon, on Kindle. Stop by bloggingfromparadise.com. There's an ebooks tab. Click on it. Menu, you'll see it right up top. Or just go right to Amazon and put in Blogging from Paradise. Probably better to go to my blog, though, or Ryan Bidoff on Amazon. But I'd rather you do that, because I list all the books by category, because altogether I have written and self-published over 120 ebooks, about 50 plus are blogging tips related. So when you invest in one of those ebooks, you're going to get 5,000 words of practical tips, or 7,000 or 10, whatever, of practical tips from a professional who teaches you how to blog the right way, so you don't have to struggle or fail for years wondering if what you're doing works, or spin your wheels, or have the anxiety of trying to wing it. You buy it, you invest the money, you read it, you take notes, you learn, and then you apply what you learn from me to position yourself to become a professional yourself. And this way you'll know that what you're doing is success promoting. It's blogging the right way. There is immense confidence and clarity that comes with investing money in resources created by professional bloggers, because they say, okay, this is what works, so do this. And then you do it, and you'll see success will slowly but surely build as you blog for fun and you put in the time. Successful bloggers do this. They learn from pros, and they become a pro themselves by blogging the right way, as pros teach. That's it. However, as I said before, this fear and delusion leads so many bloggers to fail because they never follow professional advice. They don't follow pros. And it's not sane. You're not thinking when you say, I'm going to wing it. Because I'll say, okay, how would you ever expect to become successful when there's 5 to 10 skills at least to learn and to practice and master to become a professional? And you're like, no, I'll just wing it. There's not Like, no, you don't know what you're doing. You have no experience. If you're winging it, how much blogging experience do you have? Well, I have none. Or maybe if you've owned your blog you've paid your domain and hosting bill, you have like 50 hours of blogging experience. So you've been struggling, so you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, but I'll figure it out. I'll get around to it. It's like, no, that's not intelligent. That's very unintelligent. You're not thinking because of fear. Fear makes you unintelligent. I think it's one lesson most people around the world have learned over the past couple years. Intelligence leaves exit stage left when you're afraid. You have to conquer the fear. You won't be able to think clearly. If you put a Rhodes Scholar and a Buddhist monk in a burning building, the Rhodes Scholar will burn to a crisp and the Buddhist monk will calmly find the door and walk out. It's because all of the fear in the mind of your average Rhodes Scholar is not unenlightened. In a burning building, we're talking, it's going to be triggered. It will do them no good because they panic because of fear. You guys know, everybody knows panic and fight or flight. Fight or flight, there's no intelligence there. It's, forget animalistic, it's just chaos. But really wise Buddhist monk doesn't have the fear. They've conquered it. They've mastered their mind. So boom, boom, boom. Clear thinking, calm, relaxed, peaceful, and they find the exit. Think of that analogy when you think about what you're doing with your blogging campaign. And you realize pros have, not every single one, but most pros have a very high level of emotional intelligence because they faced hundreds to thousands of fears over very long careers. They know what it's like to get criticized to overcome the fear, of course, but that first time you get a terrible review on your blog. I'll say on one of your ebooks, the first 1-star review, or to have an angry client who complains and wants their money back. They know that first time feeling, or multiple times, but especially that first time. Or when clients stiff you, like they know those fears. They get it. They've been there years ago and they master it. That's why they're the pros. So when you follow their advice, guys, when you really get into their mind, that's when everything's going to pop with your blogging campaign, because you'll learn how to blog the right way from pros and do what pros do. And then eventually you put in the time, energy, you're having fun doing it. You become a professional yourself. So I'm going to roll, guys. Wow, coming in at half hour. I'm going to do some cardio now. Get these puppies uploaded, or not uploaded, just share them, I guess. Thanks so much for joining all. Please feel free to share this video with your friends. Any bloggers out there who just want to be successful, they really don't know what it takes. They're kind of curious. They want to learn more. They can't get started. This helps clarify, crystallize in the mind these successful blogging traits. I'm going to roll. Thanks so much, Larry, on Instagram. Everybody else joining in the future. And thank you, YouTube crowd. Until next time, you know what to do. Enjoy Paradise all.